Welcome to this month's OFPSA webinar entitled Practice Growth with Social Media Marketing. My name is Jake, and I'm with a firm called Total Social Solutions, and I'm the first person to tell you that social media is here to stay. Nearly 1 billion users on Facebook, 130,000 tweets every minute, over 1 million reviews on Yelp, love it or hate it, and Google Plus with over 100,000 users in just its first 11 months, so it's very much here to stay. Again, my name is Jake. I'm with a firm called Total Social Solutions. We are the first full-service social media marketing agency that is dedicated to the field of medical aesthetics and specifically helping medical aesthetic practices make money through social media marketing. I'm also a practice administrator and a member of OFPSA. Do some consulting work, but have had the chance to work with many facial plastic surgeons across the country during my time last decade. What we'll do is we'll talk a little bit about social media as a whole from a 100,000-foot view and lay some groundwork, and then we'll talk about why social media is different, and then we'll give you some very concrete ideas how you can leverage social media marketing to build your practice starting tomorrow. So let's look at marketing's evolution over time. Going back to the 19th century, marketing was really limited to the size of the sign that you could put over your storefront. Perhaps town criers on street corners, perhaps flyers that were handed out. In the early to mid-20th century, with the advent of electricity and neon signs, billboards became in vogue, and yellow page ads and slick, glossy advertisements such as for the cigarettes that you see here. And then in the 80s and 90s, mass media marketing through television, radio, and then this thing called America Online introduced us to the wonderful world of pop-up and banner ads that we all know and love. Finally, last decade has been just really a digital revolution, really requires a slide unto itself. For those of you that were running a practice in the year 2000, you'll remember that you had a very big, bulky website. You used a desktop computer that looked similar to this gateway. Video was very difficult due to bandwidth constrictions and that technology had not quite caught up. And then finally, you used a lot of these paid ads through America Online and other services. January 2007, really the world changed. With the advent of the iPhone, Steve Jobs promised us your life in your pocket, and they delivered, because never before had humankind had such a device that allowed each and every one of us to broadcast our every thought, every feeling, every rant, every rave, and post our every review from wherever we were at any point. As a result, we had to make our sites more mobile friendly and recognize the ubiquity of Wi-Fi. And this has all led to really the social media revolution of this decade that we're going through. And what I mean by that specifically, social media is changing the world. From Arab Spring to the Occupy movements here in LA, to the uprisings in Greece and the Eurozone. Social media is literally changing the world. That's what we want to underscore here. And why that's important to facial plastic surgeons is that your reputation has never been more vulnerable, nor has it been more of an asset that you want to get out there if you have a solid reputation, which most of us do. So therefore, it's that much more important to build a community of followers around our brands, which is what we're ultimately looking to do. And this is done not just through Facebook, Twitter, but by using your blog and Yelp, Google Plus, email, YouTube, the former Google Places, which as of a week before this recording recently switched over to Google Plus Local, Foursquare. It's about how it all comes together to become a revenue-generating machine. That's what social media is supposed to be for you. But let's talk about why social media is different. Let's get back to Practice Growth 101. Let's talk fundamentals and how it is that you grow a practice. And we've all heard this practice growth triad. 3 ways to grow your practice. And here's our typical office. Get more people coming in the door, convert people over from other procedures, or have people coming back more often. Bring back those satisfied patients. Recruit, convert, retain. Many of us can say that in our sleep at this point. But let's compare traditional media to social media. And traditional media and PR is still fantastic when it comes to recruitment, because that's what it does so very well. As a conversion tool, it's somewhat effective. It's theoretically possible that one of your patients hears your radio ad in which you're advertising a new product or procedure that you're offering, and as such, it could be said that traditional media and PR is somewhat of a conversion tool, so we've got a dull check there. It really doesn't do much for retention, and it is transient. As soon as that message is out there, it is gone forever. Now, with social media, you have an incredible recruitment tool because you have word-of-mouth spread. Conversion tool, it's a fantastic conversion tool because once you have your community of followers, you can promote those new products and procedures to that following. It's the best retention tool that we've ever had as practice administrators. And it is permanent. We're going to give it 2 checks for this point here because it is a permanent business asset that we're going to talk a little bit more about coming up here in just a moment. really in this idea of social media becoming a business asset. In the age of traditional media and PR, all of these messages were transient. They were very temporary, and it was a one-way communication in which you didn't really know whom your message was hitting. But now in the age of social media, your brand has the opportunity to have two-way interactions with your network, but then through their extended networks as well. So if someone is happy with your office or a product or a procedure that they received at your office, within seconds, you could have hundreds, thousands, maybe even millions of people that hear about that through their extended networks. And that's how your community becomes a permanent, tangible business asset that you've got. Word of mouth spreads much faster in social media. In the old days, it was a satisfied patient tells 3 or 5 women at a cocktail party. In the age of social media, with just a few tweets or posts or check-ins, you have the force multiplying effects of social media, getting the word out about your practice to thousands, if not millions of people. But here is the hard truth, is that if you don't know for sure that you're one of these people that's out in front of your local community and leading the social media charge in your community, you're back here. And that's the hard truth. If you don't absolutely know that you're in front, you are behind. And this is akin to in the late 1990s, those practice managers that said, I don't necessarily want to invest in a website because you can't show me ROI. Which is true. It's very difficult to show positive ROI for building out a website, but we all did it because we realized the digital revolution, the internet revolution was going to be happening. But many of those in the late 1990s who didn't get on board with the internet said, I'm just going to stick with the yellow pages because it's been working for me, I can measure ROI, I'm going to go with it. We are at that same crossroads right now with social media. Those that figure it out will be in front, and those that don't get on board will be left behind. It's going to be very hard to catch up. And let's look at some of the statistics. For every minute that Americans spend on email, they spend 3 on social media. We as Americans are addicted to social media. 80% of your target, and these are women of a household income of $50,000 or more that are appropriate for facial plastic surgery, are checking social media by choice every day. And it's not just kids. 55% of Facebook users are over 26 years old. Let's not forget, Facebook is almost 10 years old, and 55% of those users are females. This is exactly who we want to go after in facial plastic surgery. A really shocking statistic, and this is very updated information. Of the 245 million internet users in the United States, 152 million of them are on Facebook. 3 out of 5 U.S.-based internet users are on Facebook. Social media is a part of our national consciousness. Now, the key to success in social media, we are going to give this to you right here, right now. We are going to tell you what is the key to success in social media. But before we do that, think to yourself, do you use social media personally? And if you do, what are you doing when you're there on social media, scrolling through, let's say, your Facebook news feed on Saturday morning with your cup of coffee in one hand and your device in the other? You're catching up with friends and family. That's basically what you're doing. And we know this. And let's look at this from a more macro level. These are statistics from Facebook directly that say what men and women are interested in and what we know about them. And you see these items here, it says nothing about doing shopping or getting commercial advertisements thrown at them from their aesthetic providers. And when you're sitting there catching up on your Saturday morning with your cup of coffee, you're seeing posts similar to this in a very generic sense, but you're catching up with friends and family. You're running through your trusted newsfeed, and these are people whom you've allowed into this circle, that you trust them, you want them close to you, and you want to know what's going on with them. If you were to see an advertisement amidst this, which you likely do, that's a bit of an intrusion. That's an interruption. So for your brand to become successful within this ecosystem, your brand must become a trusted friend, and that is the key to success in social media marketing. And to understand how it is that we do that, let's focus on what's important to your clients. And what's important to your clients, and you're going to hear it here first for the first time, and this is big news, is not exactly what's going on in your office. What's most important to your clients is them. They're the most important thing to themselves. So you have to keep that in mind when you understand that you're operating within this trusted newsfeed ecosystem. Now, there are 2 messages. Let's say you say, I'm going to go put my facial plastic surgery practice on social media. I'm going to put messages out there. You have 2 messages. One of them is going to give something. I'm going to denote with this blue cloud here. We're going to give something with no strings attached, a unique piece of information, perhaps a recipe, perhaps some exercise tips, something about health and wellness that shows that I'm more than just the place where they get great nose jobs or great filler injections. On the other side, there's a message that I'm denoting with a red cloud that's going to ask something of them. This could be your deal of the day pitch, or something that shows your surgeon up on stage at OFPSA giving a lecture. Which of these things do you think is going to fit more within this? And let's look at that a little bit more closely. And let's think about the fact that back in the day, it was all about number of impressions through traditional media networks. It was all about how loudly and how proudly you could get your message out there, and you just hoped it hit your mark. But today you have to be interesting. You're in that trusted newsfeed, and to get people to accept you into that trusted newsfeed, your brand has to be interesting and drive these +1s, likes, and follows. So let's look at the old school view. And here is a facial plastic surgeon who's putting out his deal of the day. Here's his talk at OFPSA. Here's his new book that he's selling. Does this really fit within social media? But if you're acting like a friend and you're giving maybe an interesting recipe or something that they can put in their workout routine, possibly even something else in the area of health and wellness, and then every once in a while an exclusive discount that's only offered up to people who are following via social media networks, this fits. This is a little more like a friend. These guys are going to get the unsubscribe, and you ultimately will get the client coming in your door. The last thing you want to do is become that annoying friend or family member, and we all have them. We look at our devices and we see a name or a phone number for someone that we know they only call when they're asking something of us, and you just hit decline. So don't be that. We put our clients on the social 80-20 rule, which is something we've trademarked, that says for every promotional message that you put out there through social media, you have at least 4 that are no strings attached, interesting information that put forth and establish your expertise and establish you as a trusted friend. And there's 3 must-haves. If you say, okay, I'm ready to go forward with this, I want to be a trusted friend, I want to be successful in social media, you need monitoring. You need to know what's going on in the world of social media marketing. You need to know what's being said about your brand in social media. You need great graphic design. Much like the great work that you put into designing your office, your social media space has to look fantastic. And then finally, you've got to have great copywriters. There's a lot of great non-promotional content that you've got to put out there to be interesting, to be attractive to people, and not be the person who's just selling stuff all the time. And beautiful design looks a little like this. Social media has really transformed itself into something much more visual, much less text-based, so it's really important to have great visual graphic design, non-promotional content with the imagery that goes with it, that establishes your expertise, establishes your office as a trusted friend, and even a post such as this one here. This was from one of our clients. This was one of the highest engaging posts that this client saw all of last year, of one of the staff members' children trick-or-treating. Now, this was nothing at all to do with the practice. This was completely non-promotional, but it established them as a friend. It established the brand as a friend, a trusted friend within social media. So great social media marketing means not being a used car salesman, but sort of like a pampered chef party. For any of you who have been to these, you understand that there's going to be a sales pitch at some point in the evening, but on the whole, it will be a positive experience. So let's talk about how it is that you can make some money off social media. Here are 7 ways for your practice to monetize social media. Assuming you've done everything correctly, we can install applications within your Facebook ecosystem to give a gift card. Let's say you have a patient who is looking to give a gift, let's say for Valentine's Day, to one of her girlfriends. She can just hit this share button and introduce this practice, introduce your practice to one of her girlfriends. Now, the giver feels great because they're getting like a $50 gift credit. The recipient feels great because they've got $50 in their pocket. And the practice feels great because they're getting a patient that they've never seen before. A great way to leverage social media. You can build your base of followers within a very targeted area by zip code, by city, by age, etc. We did this on a national level with one of our brand clients. This was focusing all throughout North America through a partnership with Susan G. Komen. As you can see, through some very, very targeted advertising and targeted donation efforts, we were able to reach over 500,000 people in just 1 week alone, and we garnered thousands and thousands of likes. Certainly we wouldn't be doing that for your local practice. We would be doing it on a much more local level, but nonetheless we can target whomever we need to through social media. If If you sell products in your office, you may sell them on your website, and if you sell them on your website, why not sell it through social media? You can make money selling products through social media. That is absolutely something that can be installed, like this store right here, or various offers that are exclusive to your social media followers only. If you're selling products, well, why not fill some chairs and fill some appointment slots and put in an appointment booking tool? And this is a mobile application that we install for our clients as a standard part of some of our packages to fill those appointment slots that you've got open within your schedule. You want testimonials through social media. Encourage testimonials through incentivized contests so that you get something out of it, and ultimately you're giving something back to your audience through a year's worth of product, or a free microderm treatment, or a $50 spa credit, whatever that might be, to encourage that testimonial. And all of the social media spaces do give you the ability to put forward offers, and I say check with your attorney to make sure there's no sort of fee splitting or anything that is very much illegal. But nonetheless, there are these opportunities to make some money through these offers through social media. And the simplest, easiest, and most effective way to make money through social media is something that a lot of facial plastic surgeons try initially, and they fail because they haven't established themselves as a friend. These deal of a day discounts, or deal of the week discounts, or special offers. You don't see a whole lot of engagement on social media, and you won't, because what happens is the phone just starts ringing. And the second these things go up, the phone starts ringing, and it really is pretty amazing. Some of our clients have been so impressed with this. All of this works only if you recognize your clients come first. Don't be that annoying friend, and don't start spamming your audience with deals of the day. Establish yourself as a trusted friend. So if I can be of any help, please feel free to call me. Here's my personal mobile phone number, my email, or there's a lot of free information through our blog and our learning center at TotalSocialSolutions.com. Thanks to OFPSA, and thanks so much. Have a great day.